All right, and we are back here on the GSMC Football Podcast. And for the final part of the show, we are going to now get into talking about the Browns-Broncos game for tonight that will end off Week 13 in the NFL. And let's kind of get into it. So the Browns, of course, they have been a disappointment this year, mainly because, the quarterback position just ended up not panning out the way they hoped for. And, they also are dealing with injuries as well, which is something that they were able to overcome last year. But, yeah, not so much this year. It's unfortunate, but, it happens. And for the Broncos, they have been a surprise. I thought this team was not going to be good because I didn't really know what to expect from Bo Nix. And I just thought they were going to be limited on offense. And give them credit, this team is good. They play good defense. And also, the man in this picture here, Courtland Sutton, he's been on a tear these last several weeks. He has finally found his quarterback, because how many years were we saying, if Courtland Sutton and, Jerry Jeudy, who actually will be playing on the opposite side tonight with the Browns, if they could just get the right quarterback, they'll be really good. And you thought Russell Wilson was going to be that guy. It ended up not turning out that way. But with Bo Nix, they have a nice connection. Sutton has been really productive as of late. And let's see if that continues tonight. I kind of need a career day out of him tonight if I'm going to want to win in one of my other dynasty leagues. There's still a way that I could salvage my fantasy week, because I went from possibly going 3-2 to now possibly going 1-4 across my leagues because of, partly because of the game that happened last night. But, if Courtland Sutton and Nick Chubb have good games tonight, maybe, we could still end up going 3-2. So, yeah, the Browns actually are coming off of a win against the Steelers. And you're going to have Jameis Winston playing tonight for them. And Jameis, look, he's been solid. He's been solid enough. He's kind of been inconsistent. The Chargers game, he was not good. He threw 3 picks. But against the Ravens, he was good. The Saints game, he was good too, but they ended up getting blown out. The defense got torched in that game. And then the Steelers game, had a couple of turnovers. I think the Browns should have lost, but, they ended up getting the win there. And they're 3-8, probably not going anywhere. So, and Jameis definitely has the opportunity to, maybe be a bridge quarterback next year. I don't know if the Browns are going to bring him back, but could end up going somewhere where a team needs a starting quarterback for at least a year, and he could step in, be the starter, and, for whatever team drafts a quarterback, maybe they have them sit behind Jameis, and then when they're ready, they take over. But, tonight, I don't really know what to expect out of this game. I think the Broncos win, but what kind of game is this going to be? Because the Browns and the Broncos did play each other last year. Now, it was different because you had Russell Wilson, of course. The Broncos did win that game. The score of that game was 29-12. Russell Wilson had a touchdown pass in that game. Javonte Williams had a rushing touchdown. Actually, no. He had 65 yards on the ground. Courtland Sutton had 3 receptions for 61 yards. Samaje Perine had 55 yards on the ground and a touchdown. Russell Wilson had a rushing touchdown. Like I said, so the Broncos really ran the ball on them. The Browns, you had DTR and PJ Walker playing in that game. DTR had a touchdown pass. Jerome Ford was the leading rusher. He had 65 yards on the ground. David Njoku had 6 receptions for 59 yards. I kind of need him to not do anything tonight. I need Nick Chubb to have a big game and Njoku to kind of, take a back seat, because I'm losing by 6 in one league, and my friend has Njoku and I have Chubb. Now, I thought I was going to win that matchup going into last night, because I thought the Niners would at least do a little bit on offense, just enough where, I'm in a good spot, but really did nothing. And now I need Nick Chubb to have his best game of the season, which I don't know if he's going to, because he hasn't been great. I know last week he had 2 rushing touchdowns, but, he only had 50 yards on the ground. He's still trying to work his way back from the injury that he suffered last year. But hey, listen, if you could get down to the goal line, run it with Chubb, hopefully he scores, and I'm in good shape. Just don't throw it to Njoku tonight. But he's going to be more of a factor in the offense because there's going to be no Cedric Tillman tonight. Suffered a concussion last week against the Steelers. Maybe Jerry Jeudy has a big game, going against his former team. They got Elijah Moore. I believe he's going to play in this game. I don't think he's dealing with an injury unless I'm wrong. But that's kind of how my fantasy matchup is at the moment. And I hope that I somehow get the win. Because yesterday was brutal for fantasy, for my luck. And hopefully tonight the tide turns and, goes back into my favor. But I don't think so. But yeah, looking at the league rankings for both teams. So both teams, don't throw for a ton of yards. The Browns average 226.9 passing yards per game, which is 18th. The Broncos are 24th. Running the ball, the Browns are 29th. The Broncos are 20th. Points per game, Broncos are 17th. And the Browns are 31st. Then defensively, Broncos defense is top 10 in all 3 categories. Top 10 against the pass. Browns defense is 18th. Against the run, Broncos are 6th. Browns are 23rd. Points allowed, Broncos defense is 2nd, giving up an average of 16.8 points per game, and the Browns defense is 22nd, giving up an average of 24.3 points per game. So right now, actually the weather's supposed to be nice. 52 degrees. So it doesn't look like we're getting any snow for this game tonight. And, maybe it's good enough, good weather for Nick Chubb to, run the football and get things going on offense for the Browns. The Browns are 6-point underdogs in this game. I did take the Broncos as the favorites to cover. I think they're the better team right now. Bo Nix is playing really well. He's been getting better and better each week, and I think that continues here. So I like the Broncos, and their defense is playing well, like I said. The Browns, they really got nothing to play for other than pride. So, listen, Myles Garrett could take over a game like he did last week against the Steelers. You got to worry about that. And look, the Browns still have good players on this team. So I wouldn't be surprised if this game is kind of close. But I just think right now the Broncos are the better team. And they're at home. I think they should win this game by at least a touchdown. But like I said, I am hoping for a big game out of Nick Chubb and Courtland Sutton. I hope they end up doing well tonight, and I find a way to salvage this week because, like I said, yesterday was brutal. Like, I lost on a play that I just didn't think was possible. I didn't think that Josh Allen was going to get 10 points on one play, but he ended up doing that. Now, not to say that that can never happen because he can have a big run and get 10 points that way. But I just did not expect 10 points that way, where you get both a receiving touchdown as well as a passing touchdown, and I end up getting eliminated from the playoffs. Now, I have Christian McCaffrey in that league, so it's not like, hey, I make the playoffs and I have a chance. I'd be shorthanded, but it's just losing that way. And my team actually had a good week. That team that I have had a good week. Put up almost 140 points. I didn't really expect it, but yeah, it's just this fantasy season was pretty rough. I also lost to my mom's team. Her team was pretty shorthanded, dealt with a lot of injuries this year. Lost 3 wide receivers, Chris Godwin, Rashid Shaheed, Stephon Diggs. Also had no J.K. Dobbins. And she found a way to beat a team that has Saquon Barkley, Justin Jefferson, Nico Collins, Alvin Kamara, Justin Herbert. She won. She put up almost 150 points because she had Adam Thielen, who had a big game yesterday. Valdez-Scantling with the Saints. He's been unbelievable with them. I lost to a team that had that. T. Higgins. Well, she had T. Higgins. T. Higgins is one of the receivers that actually didn't get hurt. Well, he's been hurt, but he he's back, and he's been playing well. She also has Jordan Love and Derrick Henry, but yeah, it's just I got eliminated from that league. I pretty much got eliminated from 3 of the 5 leagues that I'm in yesterday. So, not looking good. And then on top of that, the spread pool, hey, it was looking good. I was 4-0 to start the week, but, not going to win anything this week. There were a lot of games that I looked at. Now, this game, like I said, I'm set on taking the Broncos. But there are a lot of games that I looked at yesterday before my picks locked, and I said, I don't feel good about this, and I didn't change it. I was too afraid to change them, because I had the Titans covering. I had the Bucks winning and covering. They should have lost, but they ended up winning and tying the Falcons for first place. And then the Patriots-Colts game, that was another one where I said, I don't know if I trust the Colts, and it's just I kept everything, and those 3 games I ended up losing. Thought I was going to lose the Seahawks-Jets game because I took the Seahawks. Well, we saw what happened with that. There's a lot that I didn't get to today that I will get to tomorrow because there's a lot to talk about with the NFC South and again another Jets loss. Also talking about the Packers and their win, Trevor Lawrence and his injury against the Texans. He got concussed in that. There was a huge fight. There were a lot of fights, not just in the NFL, but in college football because it was rivalry week. And you had multiple teams win, and they were planting the flag, and it was ugly, especially the Michigan-Ohio State game. Michigan winning that, very low-scoring game, I might add, and they planted the flag, and chaos ensued. There was a lot that happened over the weekend, both in the NFL and in college. And we're about to get into bowl season, college football regular season pretty much over. And, we're going to find out what this final playoff bracket's going to be. And then soon after that, the NFL postseason is going to be upon us too. So, a lot to look forward to in the coming weeks. But to kind of put a bow on this segment here, so I got the Broncos winning. I'm going to say they win. I'll say they win 27-14. I think, I'm hoping for a big game out of Nick Chubb. I'm hoping David Njoku doesn't do anything. I'm hoping Nick Chubb has his first 100-yard game of the season and a couple of touchdowns. That would really make me happy. I expect Bo Nix to play well. Jameis, I think, will make some good plays, but I think he'll also turn the ball over, and the Broncos defense, I think, will capitalize on that. And we'll see what Jerry Jeudy does in his revenge game. Does he have a big game? We'll see. But I hope you guys enjoyed the show today. I hope everybody had a good Thanksgiving, a good weekend. But yeah, we're in the home stretch here. This is the final month of the regular season in the NFL, and bowl season is upon us with college. So enjoy it because it's going to go really fast. We're already in December. I can't believe it. But yeah, that is all the time that we have for today. Thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure to check out all the other shows as well. Make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe to the video. And as always, I'm your host, Kenneth Grunfelder, signing off from the GSMC Football Podcast, brought to you by the GSMC Sports Network. Have a good day. Enjoy the game tonight if you watch it. And I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Take care.